Oh, I think they're going in order. I think these crossover events are a huge stepping stone in that direction, just continuing to provide us with the platform to be able to come out here and show out. I saw Jewel and Natasha Cloud were in the celebrity game, and I think the opportunity for us to be in our off season right now and get people out here in the greatest event that there is, during this NBA season, and being able to showcase our talents, but people continuing to familiarize themselves with players and teams.
It's in the back of your mind. Is there a subtle message you want to send? But you win. And this whole aspect is good.
Yeah, I mean, that decision to move to the NBA line was something that I wanted to do from the beginning, to just continue to push boundaries and equal the playing field, and knowing that I had the opportunity to do that in terms of picking where I wanted to shoot from and just continuing to move the needle in that direction is what I wanted to do. And no matter how challenging or difficult that decision seems, I'd rather go down fighting for what I believe I'm capable of doing. Yeah, I think it's huge, being able to be a role model for a lot of young girls, and knowing that they're growing up in a society where they're able to watch us and they're able to go to games and watch us on TV, attend our camps, get to know us as people as well as mentors. And I think that's the huge part of the continuing growth of the league, and especially in college and high school as well, is there's going to be a lot of young girls that have role models that are playing right now that they can look up to and aspire to be like. Yeah, I think you can tell the difference between people who have that mindset and all the athletes that don't, in terms of, I think everyone that's been asked Steph or Sabrina has never once thought about, if I'm in the WNBA and he's in the NBA, it's just let the best shooter win. And I think being able to bring that on this biggest stage, in terms of both of us viewing the game like that, and both being very competitive and wanting to win this competition, opens the eyes of a lot of people in terms of how they view these competitions, and then in turn how they view our sport. Well, I've only been in one, so I've been watching my own, because that's, I got 37, so hopefully I can get in the 30s. But I think just the opportunity to come out here and do what we're doing, I know a lot of people have been talking about it, and it's the first of its kind, and hopefully not the last. Well, they understand what it takes to be the best in our sport, and we work out with them, we play with them, they ask us for advice, we talk to them. It's kind of just that nod and mutual understanding of sport, and basketball is basketball, and we work just as hard, if not harder, and continue to put the time in to be the best, that we can be in our sport. And they understand that because they go through the same grind as we go through, mentally and physically, and being able to have them use their platforms and show up to games and continuing to promote the game because they believe so, not because it's a box that they can check, speaks volume about who they are as individuals and how they continue to show up for us the same way that we show up for them. I mean, I'm excited to see who else is going to be able to participate in this. Obviously, there's great shooters in our league. There's great shooters that are up and coming. And so it'll be exciting to see how this continues to unfold. I have no idea what it's going to look like next year or the following year, but hopefully we're able to have a great turnout and a lot of excitement around it and continuing to have this be something that happens every All-Star. To just keep believing in myself. 10 years ago, I never would have thought this was possible, and so being able to be up here and now it being the day that we're able to go out there and play, no matter what happens, it's a blessing and an opportunity to even be in the same conversation as Steph, and to be able to see how much he's respected me as a player and a basketball player and a person to want to come out here and do this, and he wants to beat me. So I could tell you that he's not taking it easy. He was out there booing me as I was practicing yesterday and trying to get in my head. So obviously we're great friends, and I look up to him, but once we get out there, we're both trying to win. I think it speaks a lot about who we are as individuals and competitors.
Besides beating Steph in this three-point shootout, what's at stake? I mean, what do you want to win? What's the most important thing to get out?
To just continuing to push the game forward. I think the opportunity for me to be out here and obviously represent myself, but to really understand what it's doing for the next generation of athletes that are growing up watching this, that are here in attendance, being able to see us on an equal playing field, competing against one another. I think it's going to open up the door for many other opportunities to come, not only across basketball, but other sports as well. And so I know we both understand that that's the door that we're opening and bridging that gap, and we're doing so obviously with respect for one another, and honored to be able to be the first to do that. I mean, if I wasn't nervous, I don't think I'd be human. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this day for a while.
Sabrina, WNBA Brazil last year, your performance in two-point contest, it was the most viral video from NBA Brazil and all social media. The country's rooting for you tonight. Can you send a shout out to your fans from Brazil?
Yes, shout out to my fans in Brazil. I want to thank you guys for supporting me and supporting me last year and continuing to support me this year. I need all the support that I can get and all the good luck my way. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Obviously that is probably the top, and I think being able to do something so many years later, and just kind of that same conversation speaks a lot about where we're at in women's sports right now and how we're continuing to just push for more and not backing down. It would have been really easy for me to say that I was scared of the moment and not want to come out there and embarrass myself or be afraid of failure, and I didn't do that because I understand who I am and the belief in myself, but also what it's going to show so many young girls that are watching, that they could go out there and they can beat a boy on the playground, or they can play for a boys team, or they can go out there and be the best on their girls team. And I think having that in the back of my mind, always understanding that that's what I'm playing for, overrides any fear that I have of not coming out here and winning. Yeah, it's huge what Caitlin's been able to do in the college game, continuing to push it forward. She's selling out every arena she's going to, and obviously the WNBA is excited to bring her in market wherever she's going to end up, and continuing to push the game. I think the more players that we continue to have, the better it is that we're going to be able to enter different marketplaces and have different fan bases and continuing to break records. And so excited to see her finish out her senior year and figure out what she's going to do, whether she's going to stay or go. But regardless of what she's doing, she's changing the game of basketball.
Anyone around here that shot mentioned you, talking about the shoes that you wear. What is that kind of change mean? You try to wear yourself and brand.
Yeah, well, I told Derek, thank you for wearing my shoes, and to be able now to hear that he was excited about that interaction is means a lot to me. It's obviously an honor and humbling to know that, but for me, I just feel like every time someone's in them, I'm just so thankful. There's never this sense of there's ever the sense that passes me that I never take it all in and enjoy every single time I'm able to see someone in my shoes, and knowing that, he's wearing a woman-created shoe, and he's proud to wear it and wears them almost every single game. It's just a nod to what I try to accomplish with those shoes, is just continuing to bridge the gap between, men's basketball and women's basketball, and being able to see that on the biggest stage. I couldn't do anything less than thank him. Yeah, I mean, I think this game could take on a life of its own with the crossover between both. Whether it's in a skills challenge, a three-point challenge. I know if I win, he's going to want to have a rematch. If I lose, I'm going to want to have a rematch. So regardless, I think with this going back into the Bay next year, me being from the Bay and him playing there, I think we could take on a life of its own and be able to continue to build this out and see where it goes. So I'm excited for what the future has to hold with this competition.
Sabrina, yesterday was supposed to a lot of the young players for the Rising Stars Challenge, but how also really brings a spotlight to them to be able to make a name for themselves. You briefly touched on it already, but how does that spotlight feel to you as a woman player in a position that sits, women versus men, and really leveling the landscape?
Yeah, it's huge. Anytime you're able to be a part of All-Star Weekend, no matter how big or small, it's just a nod to the work that you've been able to accomplish and where you're at in your career. All those players that are in the Rising Stars and in the celebrity game and in the actual All-Star game, whether you're a reserve or not, you stand out, and it's because of all the hard work that you've put in and what you've been able to do for your team. And so it's never taking that lightly, and knowing this is in the middle of their season, but being able to kind of take that in. And for me, being able to be out here, a part of this weekend that I've been able to watch for so many years. I've always watched the NBA All-Star Game and wanted to be able to come and be a part of it. And now knowing that I am, I'm just soaking it all in and enjoying every single moment. I mean, I always bet on myself, no matter who I'm going against, so I'd never pick anyone else.
Do you find yourself thinking about Paris 2024 at all? Where's the Antwerp like, and kind of playing together with that team, and you look like
Yeah, it being an Olympic year, it's exciting to know what's coming ahead, and obviously being a part of the qualifying team. I was in Belgium about 4 or 5 days ago, competing and understanding what's to come. And obviously I'm going to do everything that I can to be on that Olympic team. That's something that I've dreamed of since I was a little girl, is being able to wear USA across my chest and represent my country. And so going to continue to just trust in the process and be the best player that I can be, and whatever happens, happens. Yeah, sleep's been minimal. I don't know what time zone I'm on from being in Belgium to Los Angeles and then here. It's been a whirlwind, but I wouldn't want it any other way. And so I'm excited to kind of get back into the States and get on a kind of more traditional time zone and get back into the gist of things. But it's definitely been a busy couple weeks for me, and I'm excited to be here and be able to finally have the day come that we're able to have this shootout. Yeah, I mean, why not there be a penalty kick shootout, right? I think it'd be cool to continue to see how this can evolve in other sports. Obviously, it's happened in tennis, but I know it's happened in golf as well, with continuing to just create opportunities for women to go out there and present themselves and prove a lot of people wrong. I think it's going to change the narrative and kind of shift the way a lot of naysayers believe in what we're capable of doing. And obviously, that doesn't happen overnight. It's going to create kind of this ripple effect, and over time I think we're going to be able to continue to advocate for what we believe in, and that's ourselves. Say that again. Okay. I just practiced yesterday, so that's my only practice that I've had off of a rack. So I wouldn't say I've prepared any way in particular. Obviously, I work out every single day, and so I'm always shooting the basketball, and so that's been something that I've been doing this entire off season. So I haven't particularly practiced for this in any other way, but continue to want to practice further and further, and not shooting from the W line, and being able to kind of move the line back, and give myself a challenge in wanting to continue to kind of move the needle, and not being scared of what's going to happen if I don't win. I don't think that's the end goal. Isn't to win or lose this match. It's just to be able to understand what it means to be able to do this, and have someone like Steph respect me and enough to want to come out here and beat me. Yeah, it's impressive. He does it night in and night out. Has done it his entire career, and what he's meant for the game of basketball, and just his mentorship across the league. I think any player that you talk to across both leagues, and just in the sports world in general, continues to applaud LeBron for what he's meant for the sport, and as a businessman, and just as a mentor, and being able to kind of carry that role and weight on his shoulders. And so for me, it's been admirable to be able to watch him do what he's done for so long, and what he's meant for the sport, and hopefully I can continue to just learn bits and pieces of how he's been able to carry himself, and take that into my daily life as well.
We have time for two more.
Yeah, I mean, Clay, Steph, players that I've been watching since I was young, and they're obviously both one of the greatest shooters that this game has ever seen. And so to be even in conversation in a sentence with them speaks a lot about where I'm at in my career, and where I'm at as a shooter, knowing I have so much more to improve. And so I would love to get in a gym and shoot with them, and kind of battle it out and see who wins. Yeah, it's huge for the college game in general. I think understanding how it's continuing to create bigger fan bases, more eyes are watching, tickets are being sold on TV. It's just creating more of a momentum, and understanding that all those players come into the league and bring that fan base, and continue to change and evolve our game. And so it's been really exciting to see what she's been able to accomplish, and what so many players in college have been able to do. That's continued to just move the game in the right direction.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.